Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so diagnostic evaluation for diabetes mellitus. The first one is fasting blood glucose test. So the normal fasting blood glucose level should be 70 to 110 mg per dl. Okay. So if it is more than 110, then the person needs to go for another test again. And random blood glucose test. Random means uh, anytime if a person gives the blood sample for testing, that is called random blood glucose level. In this case, the blood glucose level should be less than 140 mg per dl. And glycated hemoglobin, that is HbA1c. These are the this test is done to check the amount of glucose bound to hemoglobin. So by doing this test, uh, the doctors will know like for 3 months how well the person is controlling the glucose level. And oral glucose tolerance test, OGTT. So this is another test, and mainly this test is done to find out gestational diabetes mellitus and type 2 diabetes mellitus. What happened in this test is like for doing this test, the patient needs to do fasting for at least 8 hours, and the day before the test there should be no restricted diet. Whatever the patient eats in his daily normal life, he or she should continue eating that, and then before the test at least 8 hour fasting period should be there. And after that the physician or the lab people, they will give 75 gram of anhydrous glucose solution to consume within 5 minutes. So after but before doing that, before letting the person consume the glucose, a baseline glucose level they will check. After that, after consuming 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 1.5 hour until 2 hours, they will take 4 sample of blood. And in case after 2 hours, if the test result is more than 200 mg per dl, then the person is having diabetes. Urine and or serum ketone test. And other tests include creatinine clearance, glomerulus filtration rate, and BUN is blood urea nitrogen, cholesterol, high density lipoprotein, cholesterol, and low density lipoprotein, triglyceride, and lipid profile. Means as I have already told, like diabetes, it affects the multi-system. So all these tests are to evaluate your kidney function or your liver function. And for asymptomatic and diagnosed individuals, testing should be considered in all adults who are overweight. That is, if the BMI is greater than 25 kg per meter square and have additional risk factors like first degree relative with diabetes. First degree relative means, suppose if my parents have diabetes, then even me, I'm at risk, so I should do the test. Physically inactive, and women who delivered a baby weighing more than 9 pounds or were diagnosed with gestational diabetes mellitus, and hypertensive patient where the BP is greater than or equal to 140 by 90 mm mercury. And if a person high density lipoprotein level is less than or equal to 35 mg per dl, and the triglyceride level greater than or equal to 250 mg per dl. So any one of you know the normal triglyceride level? Anyone? Okay, the normal triglyceride level, it should be less than 150 mg per dl. Okay. And women with polycystic ovary syndrome and other clinical conditions associated with insulin resistance like severe obesity. So those who are at risk of all this, they should go for blood glucose level testing. And in the absence of the above criteria, testing for diabetes should begin at the age of 45 years. And if results are normal, testing should be repeated at least at 3 years interval with consideration of more frequent testing depending on initial results and risk status. Complication. So the complication of diabetes, two types, acute complication or the long-term complication. The first, let's see, immediate or the acute complication. Hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia means low glucose level, and hyperglycemia means high glucose level. And diabetic ketoacidosis. Diabetic ketoacidosis I'll explain in another class. And long-term complication. In long-term complication, it includes retinopathy and cardiovascular diseases like the coronary artery disease with chest pain, heart attack, stroke, and narrowing of arteries, atherosclerosis, and nerve damage, neuropathy, kidney damage, nephropathy, and foot damage, skin and mouth condition. Those who are having diabetes, they are more susceptible to all this skin infection. And for management, nutritional therapy, drug therapy, exercise, and self-monitoring of blood glucose. So let's see the lifestyle modification that a person with diabetes should adopt. So when we talk about lifestyle modification, it involves altering the long-term habits, typically of eating or physical activity, and maintaining the new behavior for months or years. And lifestyle modification can be used to treat a range of diseases. And in lifestyle modification, a person should eat a balanced diet. And if the person already has diabetes, then he or she should reduce the amount of sugar intake and exercise well. Means a person should be physically active. In a week, a person should at least do exercise 3 times for at least 30 minutes. And regular checkup. Regular checkup, like for those who have risk factors or those who are above the 45 years of age, they should do the blood glucose testing. And for already who have diabetes, for them, either every month or every after 3 months, they should test the blood glucose level. And stress management means everybody have stress like in our day-to-day life, but we should always try to control and manage our stress. And no smoking and limit alcohol intake. So these are the dietary modification. Limit high sugar containing foods and add more fruit and vegetables to your meals. This more fruits means only for those who don't have diabetes. Okay, after having diabetes, so the patient has to avoid certain fruits which are high, which has high glycemic index, and maintain moderate amount of protein. So this is the food pyramids. Like a person should eat more of vegetable, means it should contain on these vegetables, fruits, and then poultry, nuts. And exercise, be physically active and do those activities which makes you sweat and to breathe harder. And fast walking, riding bicycle, or swimming is the best option. And regular medical checkup, visit to your clinician minimum twice a year, and do blood tests for fasting. Here PP means postprandial, okay? And then HbA1c, that is the glycated hemoglobin, and cholesterol at 3 months interval. And do eye checkup once a year, because one of the complication of diabetes is diabetic retinopathy. Means diabetes can damage the nerve of the eye. So eye checkup should be done at least once a year. And check your feet regularly for any ulceration. Smoking cessation, and quit alcohol. So till here, any doubts? Any
No,
doubts
ma'am.
here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I'll move on to the next slide, okay? Glucose monitoring, self-monitoring of blood glucose means, suppose if I'm having diabetes, then I will not go to the hospital to test my blood glucose level, but myself only, I will monitor at home. So this glucose monitoring allows a patient to evaluate their individual response to therapy and assess whether glycemic targets are being safely achieved. And various methods for self-monitoring of blood glucose are available, and most involve obtaining a drop of blood from the fingertip and applying the blood to a special reagent strip and allowing the blood to stay on the strip for the amount of time specified by the manufacturer. And the candidates for self-monitoring of blood glucose are for patients using any intensive insulin regimen, means those patients who get insulin for management of diabetes, and unstable diabetes, that is severe swings from very high to very low blood sugar levels within a 24 hours a day, and a tendency to develop severe ketosis or hypoglycemia, and hypoglycemia without warning symptoms, and people with type 2 diabetes not using insulin. And frequency of self-monitoring of blood glucose are prior to meals and snack, in Indian scenario, like mostly before breakfast, and then at bedtime, occasionally post-prandially, means after lunch or dinner, and prior to exercise, and when they suspect low blood glucose. So the sign and symptoms for indicating for low blood glucose are the person will have fatigueness, weakness, fatigue, all those. And after treating low blood glucose until they are normoglycemic, and prior to critical tasks such as driving. And testing up to 6 to 10 times daily, although individual needs may vary. Guide for self-monitoring of blood glucose means how to perform the self-monitoring of blood glucose. First, wash hand in warm water and dry before puncturing. And then in the hospital